Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to World of Horror. I really do need to stop forgetting to turn off this screen right here and the briefcase screen, because we really don't need either of these screens, and the introduction, that's also, we've seen this enough, I think, although it's nice to see the initial D, that used to be the main menu screen before it was removed. But anyways, we're vibing, we're hanging out. We played Koiji last time, so we're gonna do Mimi today. We're gonna do Mimi, a little Mimi, to soothe the soul, and by that I mean to not soothe the soul, because Mimi has minus reason as her unique feature. But you know, a little standard hunted by the cult. And do we want things to heat up? Do we want to get coached by a nerd? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe we want to be in a sticky situation? I'll be here all night, folks. Anyways, let's just, we've been doing Goizo a lot. We've been doing Goizo a lot recently. So I think what we'll do, we'll go ahead and do, no coward strats, and just hope that we, don't run into a ghost. I was gonna say we should hope that we, okay, so we got strength, charisma, knowledge, second mystery. I'm honestly thinking about the monkey wrench, I really am, to embrace monkey. Because we could just sell the scalpel, and then jump right into it. But, you know what, let's go for the monkey wrench, it'll be fun. But, listen, we need to build up our strength and endurance, so we might as well get the tracksuit on. And see some sights on the TV, switch through the channels real quick to see if we can't view a little our friend on the television. You know, do the Leo pointing meme, where it's like, hey, I know that one. But do I really, though? I'm not entirely sure. Do I really know Moriko? Probably not, but cool poster. That's a nice movie poster. Alright, we're starting off strong, okay? We're starting off strong, and the game's gonna start us off with Household Hell. That's okay, that's adequate. Now, we really don't want the certain thing. Well, listen, I can't say that, because I'll get another email from YouTube. And listen, I'm milking the bit a little bit, alright? Like, I only got one email from YouTube, but it was still pretty hilarious to see, because, you know, it's just an automated bot sending you this. And by the by, I tried to contact the YouTube bot. I think I mentioned this in one of the videos already, but I tried to contact the YouTube bot about upload progress and not being able to resume it, and the YouTube bot kept telling me about, oh, you know, if your video's been processing for more than 8 hours, you should re-upload it. It's like, no, I don't know how to, because a lot of people complain about processing speeds, right? I don't really care. Do you care? Looking at this game, do you care? Like, the art style's great, don't get me wrong, but does it matter that much? I don't think it does, to be real with you, if the video's at, like, you know, HD or not. I mean, and that's a little bit disrespectful. It is. But I mean, like, this isn't, I'm trying to think of, like, graphically stunning games, but I'm just thinking of Crysis, which is probably not a good example these days. What's the current benchmark? Well, like, what's the current benchmark game? Like, if you can run it, that means your computer's good. Because, I mean, back in the day, it was just Crysis. It was Crysis 1, and it was Crysis 2, and then it was Crysis 3. But anyways, it's like, how do I put it? If, what was I talking about? Yeah, it's not like this game is, like, graphically, like, beautiful. You know, like, you step out onto the vista, and it's just like, whoa, my god, this is the greatest in-game sight I've ever seen. You know, it do literally be MS Paint, though. Like, that is not an over-exaggeration. That is not a meme. That is literally it just do be MS Paint, though, and I accidentally went to the seaside one more time. I thought this was a different mystery, to be honest with you, because I'm not entirely paying attention. Let's explore it. But, yeah, no, it's... I think that the video's processing... Like, don't get me wrong, it's annoying when the Crystar episode took, like, 8 hours to process, but it eventually got there, and it seems to fix itself after a while, if you know what I mean, right? So, can we brace here? No, we can't brace here. That's pretty bad. But, so instead what we'll do is 80% chance. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. 80% chance we take 3 damage. We're good to go. We are G2G. But yeah, so it doesn't really bother me when these videos aren't processed on time. It did bother me when the Crystar video took like 8 hours to process. But that's besides the point. It's really interesting to see how the bot works, because a lot of people will say, you know, here's how I imagine it works. They get a lot of complaints about uploading time, or not uploading time, sorry, processing time. And so what somebody will DM them, or what somebody will post on Twitter, is I was uploading my video, and it's processing, and it's been processing for like 8 hours, or it's been processing the HD version for days. And so when they tag it like that, when they tag it with it's been uploaded or uploading and then it's processing, then that is going to teach the YouTube bot that when someone says uploading a video problem or uploading a video progress, then that's going to assume processing, because that's what most people have the issue with. But my issue is with that I closed Google Chrome, reopened Google Chrome, and couldn't resume the upload, which is something that you can normally do. So we had strength. We did have charisma, right? I'm not crazy. I remember seeing that. Let me check. Hopefully. I mean, we can get 3 allies now, but we did have a charisma check, so that's pretty cool. And it wasn't dexterity, right? There was no dex? Strength, charisma, and knowledge. Okay, so we can go and get 3 allies right now, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't know how helpful it's really gonna be. Like, if I think about it, I honestly, like, I can't really say that, oh, you know, this is gonna be crazy, dude. And, you know, I hate to say it, but the best mystery for us to do right now is School Scissors. Because we need 2 items to discard. We'll get a baseball bat here, guaranteed. And so we want to do School Scissors, even though we can't recruit after that point. I mean, we can recruit after it. We just can't recruit during it, which is a little bit of a bummer because we could use some more strength, but it shouldn't be a huge deal. We effectively have 7 strength, by the way. We can unequip the monkey wrench for the, well, I mean, we could sell the monkey wrench, because I'm pretty sure that was Light Source and not Takashi, so I don't think we have a fight in the lighthouse, but I can always double check. If we don't have a fight in the lighthouse, I can just sell the thing. I'll take the money. You can either trade your funds for 3 final counters to put into the machine, or you can take the money. I'm gonna take the money. That's oh man. I hate how they do that. I hate how they make you watch your mistake. Right? Like, they're like, oh, you know, you've won 3,000 pounds, and so you can either take the money or you can trade it all for a chance at the jackpot for 10,000 pounds. And then it's like, no, I'd rather just stick with what I won. You know, it would be nice, but I don't know because the machine is unpredictable. And then they just, like, turn on the instant win magnets, and they just see as the 3 tokens go in, like, impossible angles to push the jackpot counter over the edge. And then, like, the host is like, oh, if only you were a little more brave. It's like, no, Mr. Host of Tipping Points. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. If I put 16, well, hold on. I put 15 counters into that machine with the jackpot, and every single counter just bounces off, hits the wall, goes the completely wrong way, the top shelf is screwed, and you'd need the perfect 2 tokens landing in the perfect spot to get the jackpot counter down. And it's just like, I am doing the sensible thing. because these 15 tokens have been a crapshoot, and they've barely done anything. And you're gonna try to tell me that oh, if only I was a little bit more brave. Nah, man. Nah. How dare you? Like, I mean, it's just all for fun, right? But I especially hate the charity ones, where it's like, you won 6,000 pounds for your charity. Would you like to trade it all in, and your charity just gets the default 1,000 pounds? It's like, oh, come on, man, it's for charity. You should just give the man the free 3 counters at the end and say it's for charity, so who cares, right? Oh, it makes for good TV, but I'm fundamentally opposed to the idea of the game. So +1 charisma. Well, that could have saved us a perk. Instead, it will buy us an experimental treatment, perhaps. I don't know. So, how many times can we buff up? 80-80? Was that right? Or was that 80-70? No, 80-80, that's fine. I'll take those. We take those. Actually, we can... If we use this, does this count as discarding it? It's time for some science. But it was bow and a bow, by the way. And I think I've said this before, but the best British game show... Sorry, Bradley. The best British game show is... The Chase. Or, not The Chase. Chase is Bradley's game, and I just apologized to Bradley. Okay, clap. Bow. Bow. Okay, so there is a clap in the middle, and then everything else is a bow. No, the best game show on British TV is Catchphrases. And the reason why that is because you keep the money that you win. Okay, I don't, like... The Chase is hilarious to watch, and I love the Chasers, but, you know, I absolutely hate the idea of going on a game show where the express purpose, like, literally the entire point is win money, and you don't win money because you lose the game show. Now, hear me out here, okay? It's not about the money, it's about sending a message. Now, that might sound absolutely insane, but here's the thing. If you go on a game show, your goal is to win the game show, right? And some people, you know, do it, if it's like a Ninja Warrior style thing, they do it because, you know, they prove that they can. Or they go up there and they try to, like, you know, for these shows, how they do it is they introduce the players, and then they ask them what they're gonna do with the money. And they usually have some, like, real legitimate use for it, like, oh, we just bought a house and we need to buy this thing. You know, they usually have, like, a practical reason for it. And then you have to watch them just get absolutely slaughtered by these, like, you know, the Chasers, or in Tipping Points, you know, you just get, the machine is, there's a guy under that machine with, like, a rare earth magnet, I tell you. Right, like, that guy has no chill whatsoever. But, the reason why I like Catchphrases is because -1 strength, -1 knowledge, +1 luck, okay. I mean, we have 21% Doom. Let's reroll. Hello, Student B. Okay. That was a complete waste of time. See, that's why having 8 Charisma kind of sucks, though, because we went through 6 students? We went through all of the students in the game, and we got +1 luck. That's the most usable thing that we could get. Right, like, I want to just point that out. That's the most usable thing that we can get, and we spent, like, 6% Doom making it happen. Let's see if the nice ring works. If we use... That does not count as discarding. Okay. Thankfully, we kept the... Wait, hold on. Get out of the screen in case it cancels it out for some reason. There we go. Throw the weapons away, because we like healing over that, I'm pretty sure. But, anatomy class, yay or nay? I think that's probably a yay. And then we've made it to the 8 strength mark, so if we need to, we can just get rid of the monkey wrench, no problem. But the thing that I like about Catchphrases is that so how it works is that well, okay, you have to get through the first round, admittedly, which is kind of a bummer. but you don't win any money in the first round, right? Like, in tipping points, they use money as your score, and you only win money if you win the game. And so it's like, you've won, or we're adding 600 pounds to your bank, and then it's like, oh, you found your tipping point, sorry, all your pounds go down the drain, haha, loser. But, you know, obviously it's not as mean-spirited as that, but, you know, they are a lot nicer about it. But it's heartbreaking, man. You get somebody, like, they get 1,000 pounds in their bank, it's like, oh man, I can't wait to get this kitchen, and then somebody just gets like a double points or whatever, and then they've got like 2,000 pounds, and that person loses all their money, whatever. But the important thing is that in catchphrases, if you make it past the first round, or if you're playing for charity, because that's another thing, if you're playing for charity, it's different. If you're playing for charity, we can do 3-3, right? If you're playing for charity, then you don't have to worry about qualifying for the next round, because in the peasant version of the show, only 2 people can go on to actually make money. But in the celebrity version of the show, which is for charity, then everyone stays in the game the whole time, and they all can make money for their charities. But when you make money in catchphrases, that is money that, well, allegedly, I've never been on the show. I do actually know somebody who is on the show, but, you know, I won't say who they are, because that would be, you know, like, unfair to them, putting them on the spot like that. But I do know somebody who's on the show, and I actually haven't asked them about it, but, you know, I actually probably should before I start running my mouth. But it's late, so I'll ask them tomorrow. But anyways, allegedly, you know, you make that money, right? So, in something like catchphrases, how it works is when you get to the money-making round, every time you get a catchphrase right, you get like 100 pounds, which is crazy, because the catchphrases most of the time are just simple things that are made more complicated by the fact that you have to guess what they are, right? So, a good one was, there was the Mr. Chips, which is this yellow boy, like this yellow cylinder-looking guy. He was painted white, and he was in like the background was like a painting rack with like white paint, and there was a ghost floating next to him, and I think the answer was like pale as a ghost, you know, and the person who got that right, they won they won like 200 pounds, right? And so that would be about, what would that be, like about $250, like $260, something like that. So, I mean, that's cool, right? Because you say what you see, and then you make money. That's cool, it's lighthearted, it's fun, anybody can play it, although sometimes some of the celebrities make me think otherwise, which is a rude thing to say, but you'd be surprised how difficult, I guess, some of the celebrities find it. But some of the celebrities are really good at it. Like, it's a simple game. You literally just say what you see. Well, you press the buzzer first, and then you say what you see, but that's semantics at this point. But, no, it's like, I like that, because you don't have to be good at it, okay? You just have to get 3 catchphrases right at the beginning, and then you're making money. And then every catchphrase after that, you're making like 100 pounds. And then once you go into the second round, it's like 200 pounds. And then you go into the rapid fire round where it's like, you know, 500 pounds or whatever. And then there's like a super catchphrase that gives you 1,000 pounds if you get it right. You know, and like they're all, like, for me personally, there's a lot of British slang that I don't know. And so there are some times where I'm just like completely dumbfounded and I have no idea what I'm looking at. But if it's a catchphrase you've heard of, you'll probably get it right. And so, you know, it's interesting to watch. And they make fun of it on the show. They'll be like, oh, the people at home were screaming for you to get that one right, and you finally did it. But some of them are really clever. Some of them are really simple. You know, another one that I remember. This one was good. This was a super catchphrase, actually, and it took the celebrities a really long time to get it. But it was like you had it was a cathedral, like a chapel or whatever, and there were 3 ghosts, and one of them on the left side had £1,000, like an £1,000 price tag. The one on the right had like a $100 price tag. I don't remember. And then the one in the middle had a £0 price tag. It was free, and so I didn't get this one either, right? Like, I'm an idiot, but the answer was free spirit, right? And it's something like that, you know. It's clever, it's silly, and it's just lighthearted, you know. And so I like that one a lot, because the chase, you know, the chase, I only really like watching it if it's the celebrity one. I'll be honest with you. I don't like watching the peasant chase, because, and I'm calling it the peasant chase because, come on, that's what it is. You know, they're because the celebrity versions, that they make way more money than the regular ones. Like, it's really rude to call it that, but at the same time, it's kind of true, right? Like, the peon version of the chase. And just for the record, that's the version of the chase that I would go on if I was unfortunate enough to be selected, because the chase is terrifying. Like, those quiz brains will eat you alive, right? Like, I'd be terrified. And I'm also terrified of this bite becoming an infected wound, but that's besides the point. You know, it's just like, it's fun to watch the celebrities do the chase, because there's like a really good dynamic, because the host of the chase is an entertainer. He's like a comedian, and so he bounces off the other like celebrities really well. So I don't know, like I British TV is weird. There you go. That's your that's your lock for today. Okay, that's your instant lock for the day. British TV is certified weird. But Mr. Chips is great. I also like Mr. Chips. He's a good mascot. I hear the words, "It's Mr. Chips, everyone," in my head, like, before I go to sleep. Like, I hear that line in my dreams. "It's Mr. Chips, everyone." He's a great mascot, lovable guy. Love that guy, Mr. Chips. But anyways, there was, whatchamacallit, how do I put this? And here's the thing, we didn't have to go hard on strength like we went, because we're getting +2 here, but the thing is our weapon's strength, and strength increases brace for impact. So my general sort of thinking about World of Horror is, if you can increase your strength, you probably should. So we're gonna take 3% Doom over the period. We're gonna take 6% Doom over 2 turns. So let's just get it out of the way, brother. Let's just go ahead and do it. You know, let's just go ahead and send it. We would not do that if we were Yashiro, by the way. That would be oh god, that would be -24 faith. That's terrifying. Don't do that as Yashiro. Yashiro scares me. Also, my phone is just gone absolutely wild. You should not be able to hear it because it's on mute, but I just hear it vibrating on the bed, and it's just going absolutely crazy. Did World of Horror get updated while I was recording this episode? Is that why? I highly doubt it, and probably not. But I'm just thinking to myself, why would my phone explode like it is? Is the world burning? Don't answer that. Is this Y2K? Is the, oh boo-hoo, we missed 1 stamina. You know, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what on earth is happening right now that I would just get so many notifications? Let me put it on! How dare you, Miku? Okay, so we're gonna brace for impact. That's a certified brace for impact moment. And then, there it goes again. I have it on mute, dude. I have it on mute and my phone is still bothering me. Can you believe it? Anyways, I was watching more insane made-for-TV movies, and there was this one that was just so ridiculously absurd. And here's the thing, I've started to learn, because I've never watched made-for-TV movies before, so I didn't know this, but they cut out a lot of scenes. And they cut out, like, for these movies, they cut out the violent scenes, right? They cut out the graphic bits. And so there's this really, and they cut out the illegal bits as well. So I'll give you an example. And here's another thing. I'm not joking on this, by the way, every made-to-TV movie I have seen in the last goddamn, 2 months, because I started watching them a month ago, every single one of them where the protagonist is a woman and the villain is a woman, I'm not joking here, every single one of them, the protagonist is blonde and the villain has, brown or, dark hair. The villain has dark hair and the protagonist is blonde. Every single movie that I've seen, okay? Every single one. It's true. It is indeed true. But anyways, this one was absolutely insane. My phone, dude! Maybe I should go and check what it is, but I'm way too lazy to do that. I mean, it's like 2 in the morning. Who is, blowing up my phone every second of the possible day? Or night, I should say. But anyways, it's you've got this, basically, also architects. What is it with architects? All the protagonists are architects. I don't get it. But, okay, so in X couple, right, you have the mother. Wait, why do we have 6 infected wound, okay. So you have you have the mother and the father who were together, but they broke up. And so the father, he went on to have a quote, fling, unquote, with his neighbor. And his neighbor got pregnant. And so this is also the most realistic thing I've ever seen in any of these movies. This is something that you should do in real life if you make a mistake. The father's trying to get back together. Well, the ex-husband. I think the movie was called Till X Do Us Part. But the father's trying to get back together with the mom, who's the main character. And once he learns that he may have gotten somebody, he may be a father to somebody else soon enough, he immediately, literally the first thing that he does, or the next thing that he does in the movie, is he goes to his ex, and then he says, listen, I still want to get back together with you, but this is important, I need to tell you this, because it's important to be honest with you, blah, 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 blah. And the main character, the ex-wife, she freaks out, and she's like, how dare you, and this is something that didn't make sense to me, because I feel like that, and I mean, obviously, it's different for everyone, obviously, but you have a situation where you're not together anymore, right? You have different houses, architect life, all that, and so you got different houses, and you're just kind of vibing, and you're not seeing each other anymore, and you're thinking of dating somebody else because you're thinking of dating, a lawyer guy, and then you get mad at him for dating somebody else? It's interesting to me. But then again, context that's important could have been cut out of the movie. But anyways, he does the sensible and honest thing, and it's just, immediately hey, I messed up, blah, blah, blah. And then the protagonist, she gets mad. She talks about it with her friends. And here's the thing. The episode is going to end soon because we're at the lighthouse. But here's the deal with the movie, all right? The protagonist ends up committing as many crimes as the antagonist. Because the protagonist, or the antagonist, she's like, okay, she does kill one person. Like, at the very end of the movie, she kills one person. But the protagonist, on the other hand, illegally breaks into people's houses. That's one thing that she does. And that's true, by the way. She breaks into somebody's house. She shoots the antagonist. But, like, the antagonist is a horrible person, right? Like, the antagonist, she's doing everything in her power to ruin the protagonist's life. But I find it incredible that it's, like, I don't even know how to explain it, because the movie is kind of like a fever dream. Like, all these made-for-TV movies are absolutely insane. But they, they're just crazy, dude. They're just absolutely insane. We're doing all the stat checks anyways, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, no, it's just, she attempts to, like, so the antagonist, she lies about having a kid, right? And, oh god, no, she does murder somebody else, never mind. So she kills 2 people. And she lies about having a kid. So that she can get her, like, claws into the dad, right? But besides that, she does, like, the protagonist does break the law. And, like, yeah, it was because she needed to break the law to get evidence against the antagonist, because the antagonist had fooled the police. But I still think that it's really weird, like, if you did, like, a crime counter, I think, like, major crime-wise, you could probably, like, because let's see. The antagonist kills 2 people, and then drugs the protagonist, which is another thing, is I didn't actually realize that happened, because in the movie, like, the TV version of the movie, it's cut out. So, you see the antagonist walk into the protagonist's house, and you see her put her phone on the table, and then the next scene that you see is the antagonist is leaving, and then the main character, she's getting really drowsy. And so, like, that just came out of nowhere completely, and it isn't until later in the movie where the protagonist is like, I think she drugged me. And so, like, that doesn't, I'm holding the run hostage, I'm sorry. It was School Scissors. There we go. But, hey, wait a minute. I went to the wrong lighthouse. Ah, darn it. But, yeah, no, it's such a weird movie because, like, the antagonist basically frames the protagonist for ruining the antagonist's life. And in the process, that ruins the protagonist's life, but not really. Because the worst thing that happens is she gets arrested once. Well, okay, no, she has a gun pointed to her head at one point, that is true. But then, the protagonist ends up shooting the antagonist. And what's really weird is that the protagonist's family, like the daughter and the ex-husband, they come into the house after the protagonist has shot the antagonist and is standing over, like, the antagonist is screaming in pain because she was shot, and the protagonist is standing over her holding a gun to her head, and then the ex-husband and the daughter are like, oh, Mom, it's gonna be okay. And it's like, excuse me? If I walked into a house with somebody holding a gun to somebody else's head, I would not comfort the person holding the gun to the other person's head. Like, you have somebody who's been shot, and it's really great, because the antagonist's plan is to shoot the protagonist dead, and then shoot herself, making it look like the protagonist was the person who started the fight. And so, in that process, the protagonist actually shoots her, and then people walk in after the gunshot, and she's like, please help me, this maniac's crazy, and she's got a gun, and then the ex-husband is just like, don't worry, honey, I believe you. My neighbor who's lying on the floor bleeding to death, she's a liar. I didn't believe you earlier in the movie, honey, so I'll believe you now. It's so crazy. It's such a bizarre thing. And then it just skips to like 4 months in the future when everything's happy, and the evil antagonist is in prison. But oh, that's not the ending, because the corrections officer who's managing her case, he has a photo of his family on the desk, and whoa, she's trying to break up his family now. What an insane movie. Anyways, thanks for watching. My name has been Webweaver. Have a good one. Bye. Stay safe out there.